Welcome along, everybody, to another episode of CSI. We're a bit stumped, as we usually are in this game. We're a bit stuck. I don't really have much I can do. And I'm a little bit lost.
I might be able
Yeah, I know. It's still about burn the bat and fibre recovered.
not.
Everything else is like, nah.
Nothing else. I've
The thing is, there isn't really anything that lets me know what burnt the bat. There's nothing here for me to see what burnt the bat, and I really don't want to ask for a hint because I'm doing so good with not asking for hints. Let's go to the morgue and we'll ask Al if he knows maybe the bones were burnt or something.
Yeah. You got.
It's exact. It must be these remains. It must be something with these remains that I'm missing. The hip bones. I haven't really looked at the hip bones as much. Nothing on the hip bones. Nothing on the leg bones. Nothing on the arm bones. Nothing on the rib cage. It's only on the head. So we have a green here, but I've got no idea what the frick it is. It's got to be something here. I'm not seeing nothing. I'm not seeing anything. I don't see anything at all. Right, well, we must be missing something at the dig site then. Got to be missing something at the dig site. I can't think of anything else to do. Right, maybe it must be something down here. Must be missing something down here. It's got to be. I can't see anything. Must be something that to do with it being burnt. There's nothing there, I'm telling you. There is nothing there, I'm telling you. It's where the body was found, and there is legit nothing anywhere. Legit nothing anywhere, right? Okay, so now we're on serious stumped territory. I can't find anything here. I'm going to resign myself to go into the lab and frustratingly poring myself over the evidence that we have. So that looks like it's something over there, but... And that looks like a tire mark, but nothing. Of course we've got all that stuff over there, but... We can't do anything with the bird. Still can't do anything there with the birds. Nope, I've not missed anything. So it's something in the lab that I'm missing.
Hey.
Right, let's start with the items. Arrowhead. Let's have a look. Must be missing something. There's nothing there. Right, okay, so that's all fine. The glass from the skull, they've both been done. What about the burnt baseball bat? There's got to be something with the burnt baseball bat. I'm telling you, nothing is coming up at all. Items DNA, the sinus records. Right. I'm a bit lost.
And Jack.
What? How the heck did we get that? Oh well. I have no idea. Oh, maybe because we matched the signage. I don't know how we got that. I have no idea how we got that, but I guess go to brass. I'm lost. It must have been, I don't know, what did we do? What did we do?
That I can manage easy enough. Looks like the same owner last couple of years. Our friend Lansdowne. Before that, one Adam Kilbourne. Sold the land through a broker for a hefty amount. Might be worth talking to Kilbourne, see if he remembers anything odd that may have gone down on that property. Mr. Kilbourne resides in... Well, this is interesting for a guy who made a small bundle selling that piece of property a few years ago. Lives in a public housing complex. Vista Court, Unit 203.
Interesting.
Hey, remember I told you this case was on the media's radar? Word's out, it's a modern-day Vic. Cranks are coming out of the woodwork, too. We just got a call from... Ready for this? Madame Lazora. Some self-professed psychic. Claims to be having visions about your pile of bones when it was still up walking around in a flesh suit. Says his name was Fast Eddie.
Captain, that's really close to one of our Vic's AKAs. Fast Freddy.
Maybe you want to check out this medium at large, then. If you can get onto her dance card between the local radio and TV interviews she's granting, that is. Her parlor is near the southern end of the strip. Ran a background check already just to satisfy my curiosity. Came up empty.
Well, we've got lots of things now. Let's go... First off, we'll do 1, 2, 3. So we'll go to Dig site and see if Lansdowne has anything to say about Kilbourne. Now, how did Madame Larzon know about Fast Freddy?
Nothing else.
He's got nothing.
I
He's got nothing, which means we're going to Vista Court to talk to Kilbourne. Now, there's either one or two things. She's a psychic, or she was involved. I know which one I'm leaning to.
I wasn't making any noise. I don't care what these lousy neighbors say.
Actually, we're with the crime lab. Would you mind answering a few questions?
Listen, if it's about those parking tickets, I'll get to it when I can afford it, okay? Rent comes first, understand?
Can we look across the apartment? Probably not. Not until I was born.
What does that have to do with those parking tickets? Huh? History schmistery. Nothing ever happened out there other than coyotes making cactus fertilizer. It was a pile of worthless dirt. And for once I scored. What good it did me.
If you don't mind me saying, you sound a little bitter, Mr. Kilbourne. Tell us why.
Oh, hell, I don't know. Living the life of Riley like this. Who was Riley, anyway? What made his life so frickin' great? Look, I don't get any kind of play, foul or otherwise. Haven't had a woman in my life for the last 3 years. Most action I gotten lately was getting my change lifted by a pickpocket.
Mr. Kilbourne, how did you get from making a small fortune in the desert to...
Living off food stamps in the city? Hey, this is Vegas, honey. Scratch a winner, find a loser. And the vice is versa, catch me? Once upon a time, I had me a small plot of prime Las Vegas real estate. Didn't look like much, but a glittering palace will rise up out of that sand one day soon. And I'm the king who lost his whole damn kingdom. My savings, everything, down the porcelain chute. Hey, I've been frank with you people. Now you want me to take you on a trip through every stupid screw-up I made? You think I want to put myself through sharing the details of my rise and fall to a bunch of strangers? No way. Damn right I mind. I'm the king, remember? And this is my castle. Stay on the other side of my moat. Go on, get out of here.
Well, that's that. Psychic parlour time. Hopefully she'll be a bit more cooperative.
were coming. My name is Madame Stella Lazora, and you must be the investigators.
We're with the police, that is the crime lab. We're working the site where the body was found, and if the media is to be believed, we understand you may have some insights to share.
I sense a certain skepticism, young lady. I take no offense. You are a woman of science, and whereas I am of the metaphysical, each, in its way, is a noble calling. Let us attempt to bridge those worlds.
Did my brightness go down? Is it just me? I feel like it was a bit darker. Still, the contrast is a bit off in this game. So, alright, but let's talk to her.
It is not so much a matter of knowing, but sensing. We do not control those on the other side. In the midst of a session with a client, seeking answers about a crossed-over loved one, a seemingly unrelated vision seized my consciousness. I saw a name. Eddie. Carved in flowing letters.
Is that right?
Yes. Then another. A variation. Fast Eddie. And then images. An eagle soaring. But then that eagle fell. Fell to earth. Dying in the snow. With only the cold and pain to keep him company. And then this vision blurred. And another took form. A word carved delicately. As if in soapstone. Sloan. We encounter souls on many planes, from this physical world to the astral. But can we really say we know them? As I have said, I do not control the other side. I am but their conduit. If they wish to speak through me, they do. If they wish to instruct me, they do so. Often through visions which require interpretation. By victim, I believe you speak of Edward Sloan. More than this I cannot, at this time, say. This material world...
So she'll let us look around, that's good. And that voice acting, she was really into that, wasn't she?
Crystal ball. Whoa, what's that? You see it? Just kidding, yeah. There's nothing there.
Nah, nothing there is accurate. What's that?
Lighter fluid. Can't imagine lighting her candles and incense requires this much stuff.
Can we take it? No? Okay. What's with the crystal's murky? Try again. There's nothing there, we've already looked at it.
I might be able to help.
No, I don't want your help. Do not want your help at all, lady. What's that?
A loose thread from the carpet.
Oh, this Fred. How the hell was I meant to see that down there? It's unbelievable sometimes. Well, we have a tangible piece of evidence now to go back to the lab with, which we will do.
Hey. Fiber sample.
Right, let's check it under the microscope. Please match. That could be a match.
The details just don't...
Nah. Damn it. Well, I've got nothing else. Let's... I've got nothing else from that.
Something you want?
No, nothing there. Brass, you're my only hope right now.
What's up? Ran a check on the guy while you were dropping by his place. No criminal record. I can try, but no promises. Nothing from the major banks. Let's see. Let me try something else. Ah, here we go. Kilbourne filed for bankruptcy protection. And one of the creditors who filed a claim? Freddie Snow.
With that riches-to-rags story of his, Kilborn just might have been driven to sell his land by creditors, and ultimately driven to violence.
That's what we call around here a theory, which is what it'll stay unless you come up with some supporting evidence. Kilborn had reason to hold a grudge against Freddie for triggering his downward spiral, and Kilborn owned the property when Freddie joined the Missing Persons Club. Even without much physical evidence, we can justify a warrant, particularly with an older case like this.
Right, okay, well we have a warrant for Vista Court. Let's go and make use of that warrant. So we have a name. Freddie.
Mr. Kilborn seems to have stepped out of his...
Oh, he's not here. Interesting.
Possibly an antique, artifact of some kind. A dangerous one.
We are taking that. Oh, what's on the computer? We all know what's happened to the computer. Oh, what's that? VHS tape?
It's...
Take that. I shouldn't be skipping Sarah's explanation of what we find. That's really bad. Surely we can get fingerprints from the keyboard, right? Nothing actually on the computer. That's disappointing. What about on his castle, his couch? Anything on his couch? Nothing. Oh, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That looks like blood.
Nice catch. This curio is just heavy enough to cause some real damage. We can't use that.
What?
We can't
take the blood? If you say so, Sarah.
Soap sculptures. Isn't that grade school stuff? Maybe it's the latest craft trend or something. Aesthetic considerations aside, this indicates Mr. Kilborn was an aspiring artisan. Just not a very good one. Looks like the guy stuck paying for raw materials, too.
Come on. Fingerprint.
We can't use that.
Ugh. Right, okay, what's... and what about in here? Nothing? Is this it? That's all we got? Right, okay. Well, it's better than nothing. Let's take this evidence to the lab, do some analysis.
What's up?
Right, what's new from here? Nothing in terms of trace evidence, but we do have the rejection letter.
Soap sculptures of America? You're kidding, right? Hey, I'll set up a computer link and you can...
Right, okay, that's been sent to the computer. What about if we analyse it? Anything? No, not a thing. Right, what about... Well, first off, let's look at the hand axe.
Chert, crafted in the fashion of the Paiute Indians of this region. Preliminary findings indicate it's legit.
You know, if the axe is of the same vintage as the artifacts from the dig, Mr. Kilborn starts to look less than honest. He told us his former land had no historical significance.
He's looking dodgy, and we've still got something to do with this axe. So, there's nothing there. What about the computer data tape?
Contents were deleted and overwritten several times. I did manage to dig out a couple of file fragments. Seems the backup software that wrote to the tape used a proprietary security algorithm. I've set up a link...
What's the computer work this episode? Chinese statue.
Unofficial assessment of this relic, a post-Qing dynasty piece.
Pretty old, huh?
Best guess, around 1998. Made in the USA, too. Oh, for future reference, post-Qing is anything after 1911.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind, Greg.
Here's something for the plus side. There was enough blood on the statue to amplify...
There we go. Got some DNA. Right, what have we got? We get... Well, let's start with the DNA. The Chinese statue and the victim's DNA.
Sorry, that's not a match.
Not a match. That's fine by me. But let's search up the Chinese statue. I like how Sarah apologises for me being wrong. She's like, I'm sorry, but you're just wrong. I'm sorry. No matches. Not a single match there, but that's okay. Let's look at the rejection letter.
Okay, lots of people unhappy with soap sculptures of America. Owner's Dale Edison, but nothing else comes up about him in any relevant database. Seems like a variation of the doing art at home scam. You submit an art test, drawing a cartoon bird or a clown or something, and they tell you you're the next Norman Rockwell. They promise to buy your work, cast it in bronze, and resell it at a big markup. All you have to do is pay big startup fees and buy overpriced supplies exclusively from them, in this case special soap, only to have them keep rejecting your work while encouraging more effort and spending.
That's interesting. Now, what about the data tape?
The abstract of the land assessment study. Negative on the historical significance, but did Kilbourne really believe the site was clean when he peddled it? And who would have authored a report so obviously wrong? Seems like somebody was trying to slip his own past between the pages of ancient history.
While you were playing around with that hex dump, I decrypted the other file. Please, no applause, only embarrasses me. I've printed it out for you to take.
Right. Okay, we've got a lot of new evidence there. What did you get? A report photo. What is that? Let's check it under the microscope.
It's John Montana, looking over Mr. Lansdowne's property. Wait a minute, what's that on his arm? Let's take it in a bit closer.
Ho, 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 hello.
Rolston Precision Classic, same watch we found. Could John Montana have actually been inspecting the property himself 2 years ago, or even killing the victim?
Oh man. He's not looking good. Let's actually have a little look over it and go to the dig site. We do want to question him on the axe in question that we have in our inventory, and I want to know about the watch. It's starting to look like Lansdowne may be a guy. Okay, let's talk to you. Anything to say? Nah. You.
On the casino property? Of course not. Don't be silly.
Well, I don't feel silly, because we found a copy of the report, and you did.
I suppose I can't argue with that, but honestly, I have no memory of it. Do you have any idea how many similar sites I've assessed over the years? How many stretches of desert do you think you could remember years later? Anyway, my name's on many things with which I had little, if any, direct involvement. Much of the grunt work is undertaken by students and other researchers.
And they're okay with that?
Hey, they get the experience, I get the credit. That's academia, Miss Seidel.
I assume these are top students. Still, you know how kids are. You might in the future want to check their work a little closer.
Why is that?
The report we found, that you authored, clearly stating this site has zero historical significance.
Well, I have to admit, these things can and do happen, even with the most gifted grad students. Last thing a professor wants, especially on a high-profile site like this one's become. Is there any possibility this situation could be handled with a little discretion? This is terribly embarrassing.
Embarrassing? Or incriminating?
I admit culpability in lending too much trust and responsibility to my students. But anything else, Miss Seidel, you're drifting into absurdity.
Really? I don't see it as absurd. I would say troubling, thinking of all the reasons someone might want to falsify an archaeological report.
I have never falsified a report. I don't have to put up with this insulting interrogation. I don't remember. And that's the idea, that nobody does. As I say, students and research assistants pay their dues doing anonymous grunt work and ghostwriting for established authorities, myself included. In exchange, the students receive valuable insight and experience.
But no exposure. Isn't that a little sleazy, Professor?
It's the reality of academics, Miss Seidel. Call it sleazy or expedient. Either way, you'll find it's not uncommon for an archaeologist to author a study on a site he's never even visited. Not to my memory. I rarely get off campus, let alone perform first-hand inspections. On the occasions when I am on site, well, I spend most of my time in the office trailer, where I keep all records.
So you're sure you haven't been to the site?
Quite positive. But I'm starting to find the direction of this questioning quite distressing. Can we please keep it to the archaeological facts of this site? At the university, in a lot near the archaeology building. But that is part of my private domain, and I must insist that you not go poking around anywhere there unless your business is official.
You may see me come around to do a little digging of my own at that, Professor, and I won't send an intern.
Ho ho ho, getting told, Sarah. Right, let's see if this guy has decided to come back to his castle. Still no. What about, right, let's go to Brass. I want a warrant to search Montana's apartment.
I get suspicious about guys with selective memories, and the prof hiding behind nameless students doesn't make it for me. Professor Montana doesn't want to talk straight up, maybe his trailer will be a little more forthcoming.
Yes, it will. Let's go straight to his trailer where we're bound to find a lot more evidence, I presume. If we don't, that's going to be quite disappointing, isn't it? Right, here's the trailer. What was that?
Looks like enough dirt on the tire to pull a tread.
Let's do it. That is probably going to end up being a match. Oh, is there something more? Did I miss
Some
something?
substance up here.
Let's grab that. That definitely it. I think that's definitely it, yeah. Right, let's have a look-see. And let's go in.
Nobody here.
What's that?
Do carpet samples look slightly different to you? Always suspicious when somebody replaces their carpet. Hard to tell just from looking at it how long ago it was installed. We'll need to lift one good sample from both sides of this seam.
Right, let's just do that then. Evidence has been added. Oh, is that a shovel? Right away. When you see a shovel like this, it's always bad.
Shovel got dented hitting something. Or someone. Real hard. Blood on it, too.
Oh man, this case is just like opening wide open. There's a shovel, it's dented. What else? What else? What's that? Blood?
That's blood. Good find.
Oh man, this guy is so screwed. What else do we got in here? Oh, yep.
Strange little things. Waxy substance. Soap. Wouldn't exactly call these art.
Looks like he's been part of that fraud as well. But I think we have more than enough to go back to the lab. If we're lucky, we'll finish this case in this episode, but I doubt it. Right, let's take the wall blood from the trailer.
Blood sample, but it was pretty old. How old? Wasn't able to figure that out. Years for sure. Thermocycled.
Got the DNA, that's all that matters there. What about... Oh no, that's all we got, wasn't it? Oh no, wait, yeah, we also got the shovel.
I thermocycled the DNA from the blood. Not human.
Damn it.
Best guess? Coyote.
That puts a dent in things then, if it's coyote blood.
I've put that in... It's egg yolk from a red-breasted nuthatch. Rare to find them around these parts, but not unheard of. Scan that tread into the...
Right, that's everything we found. Let's start off here with the tire tread. We'll try and match them first off.
Tire types matching key characteristics and dimensions. That's a nice spin.
Well, we placed him at the scene of the crime. Now, let's get the trailer wall blood and try and mix it with the Chinese statue perhaps. That's not a match. What about the victim's DNA? That is a match.
Okay, so the blood belongs to our Vic. Still, that doesn't tell us exactly how the stuff ended up in the trailer.
But I mean, that's definitely enough to get this guy nailed to the wall. Now, right, the dirty fibre from the victim, that's what we're gonna, or is it? Right, the carpet fibre from the second parallel, that's what we've already done. That the new carpet fibre, does that match? That doesn't match. What about the old carpet fibre? That doesn't match either. So what about the dirty fibre from Vic and the new carpet fibre?
That's close, but not quite a match.
Close. So maybe the old fibre. Oh, that's more like it.
Here's our break. Fiber under Freddy's fingernail matches. Greg says the new carpet was installed around 2 years ago, about when Freddy vanished. You know a real good reason to replace a carpet? Bloody murder.
Well, this is not looking good for him, is it? I don't think we've really got anything else left to do. I think we just let's go talk to him and see if we can get him to admit to anything in particular. I doubt he'll admit anything without a warrant or something.
Nothing.
As if you haven't embarrassed me enough, you bring up that ludicrous debacle. You would think an educated person like myself would see through a pitiful scam of that nature. But they flattered me. Played to my own vanity. Desires to express my own creativity, and they made a fool of me. And plucked my bank account at the same time. The effort and money I put into that worthless nonsense.
Right, that's that. Now, what about Vista Court? Let's see if this guy is back by any chance. I doubt he is, though. I think he's long gone. Yeah, he's long gone. Now, what about the Psychic Parlour? Anything? Does Madame Lorenzo have anything to say to us, exactly?
Again, I know little of this physical plane. I read signs from the other side. But I can tell you this. You cannot always believe what you read, whether it be a Ouija board's message, or words fashioned by flesh and blood hand. How fascinating that your investigations on the physical plane have taught you what I instinctively knew. There are many paths to heaven, and to knowledge.
With all due respect, madam, we're not here for reading, seance, or any kind of show. How about you drop the act and stick to the facts?
You threaten me? After I have shared my insights?
Psychics have been known to help the police, and I respect the scientific study of extrasensory perception, but phony psychics have sometimes shared insights from the other side. Inside knowledge of a crime.
These are outlandish implications. You had best watch your words, young lady. The media would not smile upon the police harassing a good citizen who stepped forward to help.
You know, I tested high for ESP in college, and I'm getting a picture of your future. It's a little gray room with bars on the windows. Now, did you know Eddie Sloan or not? And did you have a grudge against him?
My energies are ebbing. Visions such as I described to you are taxing. I have... What a ridiculous and insulting assertion.
Then maybe you can explain why you keep so much lighter fluid around. We found the same substance near the victim's remains, but no clothes or personal effects, as if someone had destroyed that evidence.
And if you are suggesting that I aided the murderer in destroying evidence, I would remind you that Madame Lazora is a source of positive energy on various planes.
Let's keep it down to earth, shall we? What are you holding back? Is it something to do with those soap carvings?
You are a detective. Your mind is keen, so I won't insult you with mere facts. Interpret these simple but profound insights. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. To some, this may be costly to learn, while for others there may be much to earn. To our late departed victim, both of these pertain.
Did Eddie Sloan check in from the other side to tell you that?
As I have indicated, Eddie has not directly spoken to me as yet. He chooses to speak in images, in riddles. All I can do is but pass these on to you in a spirit of positive energy. Eddie?
No, Dale. Dale Edison.
Names are earthly constraints. There are many ways to know a person. First, you must think of Eddie. Eddie Sloan.
Lady, I really don't have time to play these games. We have a murder on our hands and a construction site that... Eddie Sloan. Eddie Sloan. Dale Edison. Rearrange letters and... So that's your game. Anagrams. Dale Edison could be another Eddie Sloan alias. So he's the one behind the soap carving scam.
The veil before your eyes begins to lift. There is hope for you yet, my literal young friend.
Well, that was very annoying. Like, very annoying. Like, I'm glad it's done. Why did I go to the trailer? There's nothing here for me. Brass is where I want to be. Eddie Sloan.
Something? Aliases are tricky to prove, but we'll check the files and maybe make some inferences. Dale Edison. Okay, here are some business dealings on record, starting in about the same time Mr. Sloan blew into town. And isn't this interesting? The record screeched to a stop about 2 years ago. Could be a coincidence, of course. Still, this looks like a lead to me. Get serious. Not yet. Not yet. Looks like Mr. Kilbourne, already down on his luck, got badly scammed by the late Eddie. Bad enough for murder? Worth talking to him about, anyway.
You people were messing around in my space while I was gone. Don't think I don't know it. Nothing gets past me.
We had a warrant, Mr. Kilbourne. And all we need now is a little cooperation, and you can get back to your castle.
Hey, I may be down on my luck, but that don't mean my grooming has to go to crap, right?
I don't think that soap is strictly for cleanup, though somebody did use it to clean up, didn't they, Mr. Kilbourne? At your expense?
I already told you. I made some financial blunders over the last few years. Some of them I don't care to talk about. Might make me look a little, well, foolish. Huh? Who? What, that light bulb guy?
Mr. Kilbourne, we are well aware that you were victimized by the soap scam.
Listen, I'm talented. My art could sell. It really could. I always been trying to make it, you know, creatively. And with the money I got along with the land I inherited, I was able to try different things. So maybe soap sculpture ain't the next pet rock. Something else will come along.
I'm sure it will. And I'm sure you hope your next opportunity comes from someone more trustworthy than Dale Edison. Or should I call him Freddie Sloan? Either way, you were bilked out of a good deal of money. I can see why you'd want to kill him.
If getting bilked by Freddie makes me a suspect, you better give me a number and I'll get in line. Half this town's been scammed by that con man. He was the real artist, preying on people's hopes and dreams. He worked in lies like Rembrandt worked in oil. So get out your bullhorn, and go up and down the strip and round up those suspects. No way. I paid for a formal assessment before I sold that property. Legit all the way. End of story.
Who did the assessment for you?
You know, it's true.
What is?
Drinking costs you brain cells. Only been 2 years, but a lot of booze under the bridge, you know? Details like you're asking for. They went away a long, long time ago. Longer you keep the plane in the air, more luggage you gotta throw overboard. Dig?
How's your memory where that hand axe is concerned?
Piece of junk I found on my property. Looked kinda interesting, so I picked it up. Hell, this was years ago.
Really? It's Paiute, you know.
Greek to me, little lady. Blood? What the hell are you... Oh yeah, I remember. I had that statue on a high shelf and I was cleaning, you know, reaching up with the dust rag. Damn thing clonked me on the noggin. I tend to bleed when that happens. Is that illegal?
Then you wouldn't mind if we took a DNA sample, would you?
I don't suppose there's any money in it for me if I say yes, is there? Hell, go ahead. What choice do I have?
And we're done. We're not quite done. This was working before. I could just press B to go back to brass, but it's not working now.
What's up? Freddy's blood in the trailer matched the carpet fiber, and the killer baseball bat found on the property our Mr. Montana lied about having visited. Add to this the prof getting lathered by Freddy in the soap scam, and even an unfriendly judge would give us a warrant on this one.
Now, I don't actually want to question him right now because I'm afraid if I question him, I'll end the case. And what I want to do is I want to investigate every piece of evidence first. So, let's look at Adam Kilbourne DNA. Man. Chinese statue. And Adam Kilbourne. That's a match!
Kilbourne's DNA is on the statue, so his story checks out far as it goes.
So we can probably rule him out. Now let's go and do what we all know is going to be the answer. I mean, really, as soon as you find that the blood inside the trailer...
Sure, let's get your...
How many times must we go over this? I've explained the nature of my work with grad students. I just signed off on legwork my researchers did. Next.
Then you must have loaned your watch to a student because we found it at the site. It was found by the construction crew. The murder weapon, a baseball bat, that was in the same box as your watch.
I don't know how my watch got out to that site. And I've never owned a baseball bat. I detest all sports. If you were my research assistant, young lady, we'd have a long talk about your investigative methods.
After which, you would take credit for my work, right?
Damn it, I just remembered something. We want to go back to the dig site. I really think we're going to nail this guy in this conversation, so I'm going back away to make sure we do everything. We need to check the birds to make sure that we get there, because remember in the trailer, it was something like, oh yeah, that's like a species of birds, and like now we have a reason to check the birds.
I think we found ourselves an important reason to pick this up now.
And now we can go back to the lab and check it out, and that should be another piece of evidence, which means better score.
It's pretty hard to tell much from a nest alone, since birds of a feather don't always flock together. But speaking of feathers, I did find some in this nest, courtesy of a red-breasted nuthatch.
The nuthatch nest we analyzed, combined with the egg yolk, may suggest that the trailer was once parked under the tree at the dig site.
There we go. Now that should be the final nail in the coffin to get this guy done for murder. You killed him inside his trailer, drove the trailer to the dig site, buried him.
Yeah, let's see.
I had nothing to do with his death or his burial. The same time I found out I'm only one of his victims. These implications of yours operate off wild assumptions.
Let's try a not-so-wild one then. When you were accessing the site, personally, you ran across a few Paiute artifacts, just trinkets, nothing too spectacular. You seized your opportunity, luring Freddy to a meeting on false pretenses. A big order of supplies, perhaps. Instead, you confronted him, demanding your money back, but Freddy refused. Enraged, you smashed him in the face, killing him. You buried him out of the property, making him part of the site, hoping it might be confused as part of an Indian burial, should the grave ever be discovered. All it took afterward was a simple falsification of the report to deflect any immediate attention to the site. Why would anyone suspect a professor of faking a report that would only make him look bad? After the body was literally turned up, you quickly reported to the site as a volunteer archaeologist eager to help. Actually, eager to further throw us off the scent.
You paint a vivid picture, Ms. Seidel, but your assumptions have led you astray. You're fashioning a theory out of hearsay and conjecture. If I were your teacher, you must have someone who plays that role in your professional life. I'd suggest you look for real evidence.
Funny you should bring that up.
What? Blood? No, that's impossible.
Freddy's blood was all over your trailer. Analysis shows that blood was spilled 2 years ago, right when Freddy disappeared. Satisfy your requirement for evidence, Professor? Still think I'm operating out of hearsay and conjecture? The victim's blood in your trailer. Or did your grad students get together and do that for you, too?
Miss Seidel, I can indeed understand how it is you've come to this conclusion, but I do have an explanation. I really do.
Well, I'd love to hear it.
That wasn't even my trailer 2 years ago.
Not your... trailer?
Adam Kilborn gave it to me. Actually, in barter. In exchange for falsifying that land claim. It may seem like a petty matter to you, but a trailer like that is worth considerable money and was perfect for my purposes, both at school and in the field. Such a petty crime to come back to haunt me in so big a way.
You expect me to believe that, Professor?
Damn, plot twist.
You're a scientist. I don't expect you to believe it, but I do expect you to check it out.
Well, damn, I was not expecting that. Plot twist. Adam Kilborn is suddenly in the picture again.
Yeah, let's see if you...
A trailer? Why would I give someone a trailer? Where do you people come up with this stuff?
It's called investigation, Mr. Kilbourne. And we know there's more going on here than you're letting on.
Your archaeologist, John Montana, falsified the land assessment report at your request. And he told us that you gave him the office trailer as compensation.
Is that all you got? Hearsay and theories? Weak people. Really weak. Now why the hell would I do that? I'm tired of you idiots guessing about this and harassing me about that.
Yet we have his admission about falsifying the land assessment in exchange for your trailer. You remember your trailer, Mr. Kilbourne? Where you killed Freddy for conning you in the soap sculpture racket?
You think I killed a guy over an art school? Right. You're really getting creative now.
You have had various financial failures in your time, Mr. Kilbourne. But the soap sculpture scam, which preyed upon your ego, that was the last straw, the final indignity. What was left of your life savings had gone into what you thought would be a new life as an artist, only it was just another washout, a joke you were the butt of. So you get Freddy to join you at your trailer, and you take out your frustrations on his face. A quick burial and a bonfire with his personal effects, and you were done. But you knew your land had historical significance, which would make it worthless for development. So you worked your trailer trade with the lazy professor in exchange for a fabricated report. You would eliminate Freddy and any remaining debt to him, dispose of the body, and elevate the value of your land for future sale, all in one fell swoop. Your life savings were gone, but at least you'd end up with something. And you'd give the crime scene to Montana as his parting gift.
You're guessing, young lady. You're spinning this out of whole cloth.
Not whole cloth, though a little carpet fiber's involved. You tore the carpet out and put in a new one after the murder, which took place when the trailer was still on your property. And, Mr. Kilbourne, the blood on the walls? Scrub as you might, it still comes back to haunt you. We even have the baseball bat you slammed Freddy with. Some of his shattered glasses are stuck in the wood.
Right now, I should probably call a lawyer. Don't you think? But you know what? I'm gonna cop. Right now. To the whole thing. You know why? I was nothing but a loser. Another loser in Vegas till that body in the desert turned up. Now I'm gonna be a winner.
How do you figure that, Mr. Kilbourne?
That sleazoid creep bilked so many people. Man, when word gets out that I killed that leech, I'll be a hero. They'll build a statue to me. And I'll make you a prediction without a crystal ball. The leeches will crawl out of the woodwork and try and build themselves up over what I did. But I'm the one to rid the world of that cancer. You see, I tried to go after Freddy with the law at first. Not a damn baseball bat. I gathered together the suckers Freddy took in the soap sculpture scam, and we were gonna have a class action lawsuit. Only Freddy had protected himself with limited liability and such. Point is, the great psychic Lazora was one of us. Just another victim of that scam artist, too.
Psychics have been known to help police forces all over the world. We should maintain an open mind and a little healthy skepticism. Now I'll predict the future. You'll crack your next case by listening to the evidence.
Much financing did I don't fucking know. 250? Oh well, hey, look at me. I'm on a roll. Got it. What is the chemical composition of lighter fluid? I don't freaking know. That one. Obviously it wasn't gonna be that one, that was the last one. Oh well. What was the brand of watch? That I know. Rolston Precision Classic. There's Alden Kilbourne Rev, it's Vista Court. Time in the broken watch? I don't know. 9:05? I wasn't paying attention to the precise time. That is another 100. I've got like nearly 100% on all of these. Oh, it's so good. What's next up? Misdirection. Oof. That's the one with Nick. So we only have 2 more cases left, but we're going to start misdirection next time. So thanks for being here for it. We've only got 2 cases left, and then I'm pretty sure we're done with the game in general. So yeah, nearly there, guys. Nearly there.